Hello, everyone. Good to see so many familiar faces. Thank you for having us here. It's really good to make it to JuliaCon this year. So Iga Szczesniak, she works at the Art Center. We work in the same team. I am Joao Pinelo, Head of Data Science, Cloud Infrastructure and Development, mouthful at the Art Center. We're still a very small team, so we have many hats. So I'm going to... We lost the screen. Do you want to try this one?
I can try. Okay.
Yeah, good. So we're going to talk about a bit about the motivation behind the Art Center being involved with the Julia community. Do we still have image? and several things we have going on about power to the user, which is a topic here. So the Art Center, we are a relatively small organization, around 20 people. We are located in the center of the Atlantic in the Azores Islands. We are part of Portuguese and European national network of research. We are part of the United Nations Grid Environment Program, and we are part of the ESA Lab, which is labs for the European Space Agency. We have a data center located on the islands with the objective of creating synergies to work on the main critical issues around the Atlantic, not just the region, but the whole Atlantic. So we have a direct receiving station. We track satellites and we get data in real time throughout the day. We have a data center to support that operation. And we get 300 gigabytes of data per day that we produce. We get the raw data and we produce products. And 300 gigabytes of those per day. So this is mostly raster data. So raster data are matrix parallel processing Julius. This is the logic behind our interest. The pipelines we have working at the moment for creating these products are from NASA DLR, and they are like 30 years old. They don't take advantage of any of the new hardware accelerators. So we want to change that. So we do, in Julia, scientific work. We build real-time data pipelines. Iga is going to show one. Capacity building initiatives in Julia. Develop production data-driven web applications. Repository for training based on the activities we do. And we're nurturing the Julia community for Earth observation by organizing annually the Julia, which is Julia for Earth observation. So in these events, we've had two. We're organizing the third one soon. Over 80 in-person participants, 46 speakers. We always limit the participants because we like to have hands-on sessions. Online, we have more participants covered over 50 sessions. So small outputs from Julia, getting all these people together. Tyler was born there. Tyler.js. Who the authors are, most of them are here. BioExplorer is a new package that is written by a doctoral student of mine. I also introduced him to Julia. It's creating a package now. SAR processing started a little bit before the first Julia, but some authors are also here. So the main topics for the Julia events, normally visualization, modeling, satellite-based data in general, building packages, SAR data. We're very keen on SAR because on the islands there's a lot of cloud cover, parallel computing and scientific machine learning. So we have a very interesting capacity building project running at the moment, but we intend this to be a multi-year program. Harnessing space technological applications is sustainable urban development. This is in partnership with the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And it's a Julia-centered capacity building event aimed at some particular SDGs and with a bias for gender equality, which we have to look around the room. I mean, it's easy to see that this is a very biased environment, but we make the best to to alter that. And on this note, I mean, these are series of workshops, but we aim to give like support on a monthly basis so that whoever gets to be on the workshops, if they have a project they want to take forward, we support them on monthly meetings. So we emphasize here when we talk about this, the power to the user part, which for us is having the scientist contact with the users outside. This means having the full stack, and this is why we love Julia as well, because we can do everything on the full stack. We've done that in R in the past. I know, we've heard, but it's a great ecosystem. But of course, now we're transiting to Julia. So announcements, very quickly, Julia 25, 6th to 10th of January. Some of you have gotten the invitation already, some of you haven't, but doing that a few a day. And we're launching a Kaggle competition very soon, automatic identification of internal waves. This is just computer vision. Should be very simple exercise on the baseline, which I did in 2 hours in Python, yes. The baseline is 0.6 in terms of performance, so it should be fairly easy to go up, and there's a lot of room to grow there. So Iga is going to show her work now.
So we use Julia at the Center for Data-Driven Applications, and our first application fully implemented in Julia is a prototype of real-time vineyard monitoring dashboard. So the dashboard uses time series of the weather data gathered by the Internet of Things sensors that we have installed in the vineyards, and calculates the risks of the infection of downy mildew. It's a fungal disease that attacks wines, so that the winemakers can have a better insight on what's going on in their fields and can take more informed decisions based on the results. And yeah, thank you for listening. If you are interested in joining any of those initiatives, just let us know. We are always welcoming new people and want to have more people on board. And thanks.
Cool. Are there questions?
So I think the Vineyard application is a really interesting use of the data that you have. Do you have any real vineyards using the data? Are using your application? Is that sort of an expansion? And sort of what other groups or markets or things do you think would be fun to work with? Yeah.
This is our first application in Julia. It's totally in Julia, and it was a demo, and now we've been contracted to develop it further. Yeah, and it's expanding to other islands, and it's a service that could extend throughout the Atlantic region because it's our playground. Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
I saw on one of the slides the call for like the classification of internal waves.
Yeah.
How are internal waves important for the Azores?
It's not for the Azores, it's for the Atlantic in general.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is a really rare phenomenon. We have a new person working with us that her PhD was focused on this work, and a lot of her time was compiling images, finding rare images with waves. And so Copernicus has a new service of imagettes, which are very kind of simplified SAR images. And you can get like over 4,000 images in less than 2 gigabytes. And we compiled a lot we compiled nearly 5,000 images, 50% of them with waves. And so if we could have a service running these, running all images as they are produced and identifying positives and negatives, we'll understand the phenomena much better, and you'll get much better data about where they exist and try to understand the phenomena further. I'm not an expert on that, but it will be useful to be able to automatically classify the images. So we get more positives, the universe of data to study is much higher, and we get to know the locations where these things occur and not occur.
Cool. Any more questions? Okay, well, thanks a lot. Another round of applause, please.